Centaur, your kind of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, tragedy strikes in Cayo District. 10 lives lost, including mother and daughter, in devastating highway collision. Prime Minister Briceño expresses condolences and calls for road safety following tragic incident. Homeowner catches burglar red-handed in Orange Walk. 20-year-old arrested in Gilligrass for alleged housing fraud scheme. And Old St. Nick arrives in Orange Walk Central. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast from Monday, December 9th, 2024.
Are you ready to light up the holiday season? Join us for Centaur's annual Christmas parade on December 14th. It's the perfect way to celebrate with your community and create lasting memories. Whether you're participating with a float, marching with a group, or simply coming to spectate, there's a place for everyone to enjoy the magic of the holidays. Call 670-9177 to register free of cost. Happy holidays from Centaur Communications Corporation Limited.
Good evening. With your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7, I am Joanna Rodriguez. The tragic news of a devastating accident that occurred on Saturday night in the Cayo District just outside San Ignacio Town at mile 68 on the George Price Highway spread like wildfire across social media platforms, overwhelming them with reactions and grief. The horrific collision involved two four-door vehicles and a motorcycle, resulting in the death of 10 individuals, a loss that includes a mother and her innocent 4-year-old daughter. The unfortunate incident sent shockwaves throughout the nation as medical personnel arrived on the scene to confront the tragic sight of burnt remains, painfully aware that among the victims were the charred bodies of the young preschooler and her mother, both victims of an explosion from the crash. As the community comes to terms with this heart-wrenching event, we have followed the story closely, and here is our detailed report.
Saturday, December 7, 2024 will be etched in the memories of many as a date when 10 lives were tragically lost in the worst road traffic accident ever recorded in Belize. Families and friends continue to grapple with the profound loss, struggling to accept that their loved ones will never return home alive. The horrific collision occurred around 10 p.m., involving a privately owned Toyota Corolla driven by Rudwell Parham, which was carrying 8 passengers: Shyler Lopez, Abigail Bradley, Kaylin Pinello, Jahim Iglesias, Aimee Hernandez, Dennis Williams, Jasmine Rodriguez, and her 4-year-old daughter Jazel Rodriguez. Witness accounts indicate that Parham's vehicle slammed into a motorcycle, resulting in a catastrophic explosion. 6 of the passengers worked at Redicall Center. Another vehicle involved in the same accident was a Ford Expedition SUV with 4 individuals on board heading towards Benqueviejo del Carmen. 2 passengers in the SUV sustained serious injuries, while the 2 others reported only minor injuries. The Ford Expedition, driven at the time by Frank Burns, was traveling from San Ignacio to Benqueviejo del Carmen. The Toyota Corolla taxi was traveling in the opposite direction, while the motorcycle was driven at the time by Alessandro Carrillo. As mentioned, among the deceased is Jahim Iglesias, whose sister Missy Iglesias spoke about a heartbreaking moment she learned of her brother's tragic fate.
Saturday, I came out of work around 6 p.m. and I knew that he went to Melcher Christmas shopping with his coworkers. And when I reached home, I sent him a message, and I knew he wasn't online, right? So I said, well, I do hope when he gets online, he's gonna message me. And I was there, and still no answer. Around 9, 10, nothing. And I saw the live from Mr. Yakab's page, and I was there, and I watched the entire live, and I was like, wait, this happened on Benke Road. So I'm like, Jahim supposed to be coming from that way to this way, you know? And I got worried, and I started messaging him, calling him, no answer. And my brother, whenever he goes out, he always let me know, like, hey, I'm coming home. Like, or I'll be home in the next hour. Then, you know, he always keeps me informed. And that day, I wasn't getting a response at all. And I still couldn't sleep. So about 2 hours after, I saw a post from 2 girls that passed away. And I immediately called a friend, and I was like, hey, like, these girls are dead. She was like, yeah, they were in the accident. I was like, oh no, I like, Jahim was with them. Those are Jahim's co-workers. She was like, hey, you know, you just gotta go check. I said, because I heard there were no survivors. And around 4 in the morning, I went to the hospital, and they told me they couldn't give me any info. I came here to the station, and that's when the police was like, we have a male that we haven't identified. What clothes was your brother wearing? And I told him a white shirt and a black pants, and they were like, yeah, there's a male with that clothing. And I still couldn't believe it. I was in shock, you know. I still called, and no response, you know. And that was news that I had to go back and home and tell my mom, you know, like, your son has passed away. And it was very tragic, you know. He's my only brother, only brother. So.
How old was he?
He's 19. He was 19.
Never lived behind any kids or anything?
Nothing. He was a scout. You know, he was a venture. You know, he had many plans. You know, I think having a kid was far from his mind at the moment.
And I was gonna ask, what type of person was he? You know, like, how would you guys remember?
Oh well, he was a free spirit. Like I said, he was adventurous. He likes nature. He likes hiking. He hiked the Coxcomb. Like, you know, he chickable. You know, for summer he will go to the archaeological sites, and he will go dig. So he was someone that I always wanted more. Yeah. You know, he was a busybody.
The impact of the accident has left a deep scar on the community, with family members of Abigail Bradley and Kaylin Pinello expressing their despair over the double tragedy. Rosalba Pinello, a relative of 2 young women, described the overwhelming uncertainty that now looms over their families.
Well, I get a phone call about 12 o'clock, after 12, and then tell me that I never said if an accident on Benke Road. I tell them, yes, I was watching it on the Facebook. So then tell me, so you need to come here and know. So I tell them what happened. So my sister called me, and she tell me, girl, so then call and said that Kaylin is in an accident on the Benke Road. I tell her, what? Like, no, you know, we stay frightened. And she said, yes. She said, so when my sister started to call different people where she know, and she finally called Abigail's phone number, you know, answer. He called Kaylin, none of the answer. So she decided to ring back Abigail's phone. That was when the police pick up the call and tell she need to come at the scene. That's when she dialed me and tell me we need to go up there. They just call she and tell she about the accident. So going on the way, we get another phone call saying that Abigail Bradley was in it also. And it was like a double shock for us, you know. So reaching out the scene was like your body just trembling, you're nervous, you don't know what to expect to see, you know. And like we were there, the police said you cannot go no more farther than this because it's a horrible sight that the family cannot, you know, see that, and they don't want us to see. So we stayed at distance, and we'll was come back and forth. They are giving us messages, and when they do the identify, they came and say they need a family member from Kaylin Pinello, and my brother was there, and he was the one who went to identify her, and he came back, you know, crying, and it's her. And maybe an half an hour after, they came and asked her Abigail Bradley family, and it was his brother. He went and identified her too, and that was when we both of them was in that accident.
Despite the heartache, the community has come together in an extraordinary display of solidarity.
It amazes me, that St. Helena is love, and I'm so, blessed and so happy that they all come together. His friends, everyone is, pouring into us like, hey, we are here for you. At the moment, it's so heartwarming, it's so amazing that everybody wants to help. Well, I know that everybody is mourning, but I guess we just should hang on to those memories that everyone left. Like for me, my brother, he imprinted on a lot of people. Like I've been getting so many messages that, he was such a humble kid, respectful. And apart from going through this loss, like I see that, he was so loved and he poured his love also. And I know everybody, treasures that every moment that they spent with him.
As for Abigail Bradley and Kaylin Pinello, they will be remembered as the vibrant young women who embraced life with joy.
Always happy, big smiling anyway. She say you Tia, Tia. How everything, she was a very friendly person, no kind of trouble person, nothing that they could call us and tell us, okay, Kaylin is in trouble, Kaylin is giving trouble. No, nothing like that. We have never, have from her. And she lived a distance away. When we meet her now and again anyway, aunt, and that was her lovely life that, and she works, take care of her little brother because her mom passed away 2 years ago. Her mom died after she had cancer and she died. So she was like all with my brother and there are 2 more siblings.
So now this news come all well before Christmas. I mean,
yeah, it's terrible. It's very hard. It's shocking to the whole entire family that we did not expect this news, and especially for both, our family member from both. Abigail was the same thing, a friend girl, nice, smiling, always have a smile on her face. She was like, as you see her, that big smile, like nothing more than that, a big smile that you see that she's always happy. Even if things are there wrong or problems, her was always a smile on her face. And it is so hard mostly because her father died not even a month ago. And we just buried him, now we have to bury her. So it's a shocking for, the whole family of, we are Pinello, Molina, and with them we are Bradley. So it's like a whole mix of family together.
Authorities have confirmed that a thorough investigation into the deadly accident is underway to ascertain the details surrounding the crash. Elmer Cornejo, CTV3 News.
The horrific traffic, which has sent shockwaves throughout the country, has prompted Prime Minister John Briceño to express his condolences and urge the populace to prioritize safety on the roads. In a heartfelt Facebook post, Prime Minister Briceño shared his sorrow over the tragic event, stating, "Last night again we lost 10 lives and persons injured in yet another horrific accident. Our hearts go out to the families impacted by all these traffic incidents. We're sorry, so very sorry for their loss." His message reflects the grief felt by many Belizeans as they come to terms with the magnitude of this latest tragedy. The Prime Minister's call for caution comes as the nation grapples with a series of alarming road traffic incidents in recent months. He urged citizens to utilize our roadways with sound judgment and care, emphasizing the importance of adhering to traffic laws, speed limits, and the carrying capacities of motor vehicles. Let's drive with care for our lives and those of our fellow citizens, utilizing our roadways and municipal streets and pathways, he added. As the investigation into Saturday night's accident continues, authorities and community leaders are working to address the factors contributing to road safety concerns in Belize. The country has witnessed an increase in traffic-related fatalities, prompting calls for enhanced public awareness campaigns and the stricter enforcement of traffic regulations. Today, ACP Alberto Romero told the media what they know so far when it comes to Saturday night's tragedy.
a Ford SUV and e-motorcycle extensively damaged. The Ford car was seen engulfed in flames, and information was that several persons were trapped inside the car. Fire personnel were called to the area. Police assisted with the scene. When the flames were under control, the bodies of 8 male persons were taken out of the car. They were identified as Genesis Parham, Shailene Lopez, Jazeli Lopez, Kylene Pinello, Dennis Williams, Abigail Bradley, Jahim Iglesias, and Amy Hernandez. Also seen were the lifeless body of Alessandro Carrillo and Jasmine Rodriguez. Investigation is that there were 9 persons in the Toyota car. There was 1 person on a motorcycle. And at some point, the SUV and the car collided on the highway, causing the fatal injuries to the 10 persons I mentioned.
Do we know the name of the motorcycle driver?
The driver of the motorcycle is Alessandro Carrillo.
And the other 4 people in the other vehicle?
Okay, the Ford SUV was being driven by Frank Burns, accompanied by his wife, Janelle Burns, and their 2 children. Frank Burns and Janelle Burns were treated at the KHMH and remained in a stable condition, and the 2 children were treated and released.
How have police been able to ascertain the cause of this accident?
Information is that the Toyota car entered the lane of the SUV, and there was a head-on collision.
So it had no relation to any reports or suspicions of it having to do with the beauty and...
Not as we know of, no.
And can you confirm that the vehicle containing the 9 passengers is not a taxi?
No, it is not a taxi, it is a private car.
Was there any alcohol involved?
Tests will be done, and it will be determined when the results are obtained.
Is it true that the car ran a checkpoint?
Yes, we got information that there was a checkpoint before the accident occurred in an area, and the car ran through the checkpoint and failed to stop.
Mayor Earl Trapp of the San Ignacio Santa Elena Town Council responded quickly to the scene after being informed about the accident. He recounted the devastating visuals he encountered upon his arrival.
So thereafter I continued to the site, and it was one of the worst I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, physically at the scene of an accident as such. When I got there, the fire was already out, and the car was overturned. And what I saw there, it was burnt bodies beyond recognition. You know, so it was certainly heartbreaking, especially here in this municipality. And to be honest, we were wrong, and when we saw I must commend the police department, the fire department, and the personnel from ambulance. I think these guys were from Spanish Court. They were there supporting. What was heart-wrenching is when I saw they pulled out a baby about 4 years. That was heart-wrenching because honestly, when I really look at it, I immediately reflected on my little granddaughter that is 2 years basically. I mean, a kid in the middle of this, honestly, it hurts. It's shocking, you know. So,
as investigations into the cause of the accident continue, the nation remains united in grief and remembrance of the lives lost. Vigils and memorials are being planned to honor the young souls who perished in this devastating event. As the year draws to a close, the holiday season typically brings an uptick in activity, and while many are busy preparing for festive celebrations, one homeowner in Orange Walk took proactive measures to protect his property over the weekend. Reports indicate the homeowner was inside his house when an unwanted guest attempted to break in. With vigilance and quick thinking, he caught the burglar red-handed. What followed was a tense confrontation that ended with the homeowner successfully apprehending the would-be thief, who was tied up and then handed over to police. The homeowner recorded the encounter on his cell phone, ensuring that evidence of the crime was documented. A 20-year-old woman from the village of Guinea Grass in Orange Walk was detained on Saturday, December 7th, following allegations of fraud. Imelda Janet Chi, a 36-year-old Belizean domestic worker, also of Guinea Grass, reported to the police that she had fallen victim to a scheme involving the promise of housing assistance for a mere $160. The incident occurred at approximately 12:45 p.m. when Chi was informed by her friend, Anna Salam, that a woman named Alondra was offering opportunities to secure a new home in the village for a small fee. After encountering Alondra, who at that time remained unidentified in the community, Chi was approached with the proposal. In Spanish, Alondra allegedly asked si tienes el 160 ahorita me lo das y así pongo su nombre. Translating to, if you have the $160 right now, you can give it to me so I can place your name. Desperate for housing, Chi complied, handing over the cash only to receive a piece of typewritten paper that falsely claimed to be from the Commissioner of Police, Chester Williams, stating, "I will give the land paper for the people who paid for the house in Guinea Grass Village," complete with a signature. The police were alerted later that afternoon, with Chi filing an official report at the Guinea Grass Police Substation. As a result, authorities apprehended Alondra Faustina Taylor Rodriguez later that day. During her detention, police recovered $100, $50, and $80 in Belizean currency, as well as 21 additional typewritten sheets of paper bearing the same fraudulent declaration attributed to Chester Williams. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams is yet to speak on this matter. A profound sense of sadness and despair hangs over the twin towns of San Ignacio and Santa Elena following a horrific collision that tragically claimed the lives of 10 individuals, culminating in a devastating explosion. The community has been left reeling from the loss, but amidst the grief, a beacon of hope has emerged. Andrew Haylock, affectionately known as Passé, has taken it upon himself to organize a fundraiser titled Just a Dollar, aimed at providing financial assistance to the families devastated by this catastrophic event.
Yeah, so it's actually on my bed, thinking what I can do for the community. It's a heart-wrenching situation that we're going through right now. And just driving through the town, it's a sad moment. You can feel the sadness in the air. But it's a good cause. It's a little bit overwhelming. I didn't know that it will spiral to this point right now, but I'm getting a lot of contributions, tree flags, new flags, Sansco, Rude Boy, CK Sports Bar, Miss Debs. A lot of people have reached out to me.
Haylock, who has personally felt the weight of this loss, was particularly close to one of the victims, Abigail Bradley.
To help these people, not only this week, not only next month, but their lives have changed forever. So we need to continue to support them.
And I read somewhere that you knew one of the victims personally, so this kind of hits home.
Yeah, Abigail Bradley, I met her a few years ago. Met her through one of my friends, Janelli. They used to come to the Gully Grill. Very, very lovely young lady. So it hits home. Sad situation.
So what was that like, getting that phone call?
I was actually working here at the Gully Grill.
HALAC plans to maintain transparency by posting updates on social media detailing the contributions that come in, encouraging others to join the cause. So far, the drive has received more than $8,000. Tonight, the family of 15-year-old Johanna Munoz, a student from the village of San Jose here in the Orange Walk district, are pleading for her safe return after she ran away from her home on Sunday afternoon. The 15-year-old girl, according to her family, left from home shortly after 1 on Sunday in the company of a known individual. This person, according to her family, had taken her out of her home on a previous occasion and had been taken to prison and had just recently released on bail. Her father, Edwin Munoz, is sending a plea for her safe return as he fears she may have been taken across the border into Mexico.
No sabemos nada de ella todavía y ayer fue que la mamá de ella pues estaba almorzando y ella le preguntó que si iba a comer, la niña le dijo que no quería comer y pues dice ella que le dijo que iba a ir al baño porque el baño queda afuera de la casa y pues cuando ella vino a ver ella se había ido. Unas cámaras que tiene aquí una llantería fue que pues agarraron el video de cómo cruzó la calle como rumbo a San Luis.
Her father today issued a plea to her to return home to her family who is waiting for her.
Pues yo solo quisiera que pues ella recapacite y que pues está mal lo que está haciendo ella, tanto como la mamá y yo pues estamos preocupados porque la verdad es que pues no nos gustaría que le pasara a ella algo ni nada. Así como están pues ahorita estos tiempos están muy peligrosos y todo más y en el lado mexicano. Y pues yo quisiera que pues si ella me está escuchando que regrese y pues para poder arreglar este problema.
Okay. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of 15-year-old Johanna Munoz can contact the nearest police station or her family at phone number 639-0427 or 612-8691. Coming up next, Belize on high alert as New World screw worm threatens region. Prime Minister confirms heightened measures. Stay tuned.
Are you ready to light up the holiday season? Join us for Centaur's annual Christmas parade on December 14th. It's the perfect way to celebrate with your community and create lasting memories. Whether you're participating with a float, marching with a group, or simply coming to spectate, there's a place for everyone to enjoy the magic of the holidays. Call 670-9177 to register free of cost. Happy holidays from Centaur Communications Corporation Limited.
As we have previously reported, the weekend saw one of the deadliest traffic accidents in Belizean history, which claimed the lives of 10 individuals, including a toddler in the Cayo District. This follows 2 deadly collisions, which have also claimed more lives, including the crash, which involved the basketball team from Ocean Academy, which happened earlier this month here in Orange Walk. That accident left several persons in very serious conditions and claimed the life of one student, 17-year-old Alexander Baton. As we continue in the festive season, authorities have stepped up operations across the country in an effort to mitigate this increase in traffic fatalities. Prime Minister John Bresenio also spoke out of these incidents, calling on Belizeans to also do their part.
Miriam, I knew her as Magania when she was living in Orange Walk. They stopped to help somebody, and then here's a drunk driver ram into them, and then she gets killed. Like those are the things that I can't use the word on TV. How upset you get over that, and that we need to deal with these people the full extent of the law. That there should be no excuse that you're out there driving drunk on the highway. On the accident, I don't know the real details as to what happened with the accident, but it's unfortunate. A young kid lost his life, and that's even more tragic than anything else. And especially during this Christmas season, you know. And then it's not like they were on a joyride or anything; they were on a class trip. So from every angle, it's really a tragedy. It's heartbreaking, and I can't, you know, I can feel for the family, but the grief that they're going through, it's something that none of us can go through. So we can just send our love to them, you know, and support as best as we can. And Nono, there's a teacher that apparently got spinal injury, facial injuries, and she's in Guatemala. And I'm appealing to everybody for us to be able to help. And if you give $5, $5 more they have. And I personally will also give a donation for the fund to help. One of the problems we have, or the challenges we have, that the better the roads, the more reckless people get, the faster they drive. You know, when you have rough road, people kind of slow down because of the bump or the hose or whatever. Now that the roads are better, people are driving very fast. And we need to appeal to people that, you know, listen, can't drive too fast. I use me as an example. At one time I realized that we were driving like 80 miles an hour, you know, and then you save what, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you reach here tense, you're stressed because you know, you go, you know what, I said, you know, tell my driver, hold it down, a little bit over the speed, I'll admit, but a lot slower, and you get there, just try to leave earlier, 1 and 2, you get there, you know, and you're not as stressed. I need to appeal to our citizens to slow it down, to please. In many instances, like what some people tell me, say, I don't have to drive for myself, you know, but for drive for the other driver they come, because they are the ones sometimes that you're here doing on your lane, taking your time, and boom, somebody comes. We need to be able to do more of that. I think we probably need to maybe consider, and I'm again speaking out loud, in renewals of driver's license, to maybe give these people take another test, so you really understand what we can do. So that's a downside of improved infrastructure.
PM Persenio also touched on the ever-growing issue of motorcycle accidents, reiterating what the Ministry of Transport has said, that the government will enact new legislation to minimize motorcycle accidents.
We have to ask for people to please be more careful. Motorcycles, oh my God, I wish I have a magic one to answer that, but one of the things we're saying that I think we're going to enact a law that whenever you buy a motorcycle, you have to buy a helmet and a certain grade, because a lot of them buy really cheap, $25 hat, and as soon as they reach, they knock it flies up and then their head hits. So we want to do that. I think we want to amend the law for that, and for also that children also must wear these helmets. And I think we need to increase or have better technology for the police, that as they're speeding, that you have a gun to measure the speed and also to be able to capture the license plate, so that then we can go after them even later. Because, you know, in a cycle, it's difficult to catch them because they quickly go through different areas. But we have to appeal to our citizens to please be careful. Yes, they might feel, you know, the exhilaration, the thrill of on a motorcycle at 80, 90 miles an hour, but one slip, one rock you hit the wrong way, you're gone. And also even in the tongue that they will be speeding and going through different vehicles, and from the right side and the left side, they're being reckless. They're putting their lives at stake, and then put other people, innocent people, through a traumatic experience. I appeal to everyone, please be careful. We're coming into the Christmas season. While the Christmas season has started, be careful. If you're drinking, don't drive. Get someone else to drive. And that's as best as we can do.
Good. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate your time.
A tragic road traffic accident claimed the life of a tourist on Friday night in San Pedro. The incident occurred on Secret Beach Road, located in the northwestern part of the island, and is currently under investigation by local law enforcement. Preliminary reports suggest that the victim, Jennifer Hernandez, was riding in a moving golf cart when she fell off unexpectedly. Her boyfriend, who was behind the wheel, has been levied with a number of charges.
On Friday, the 6th day of December 2024, police responded to a fatal accident on the Secret Beach Road in San Pedro. Upon arrival, they learned that a female had been taken for treatment. San Pedro police visited the San Pedro Polyclinic, where they found Jennifer Hernandez with injuries to the head and body. Thereafter, she succumbed to her injuries. Investigation revealed that she was riding along with her boyfriend in a golf cart when the boyfriend drove and hit a bump, causing her to fall off the golf cart, causing her fatal injuries. An investigation was carried out, and her boyfriend, Jeremy Flores, has since been arrested and charged for reckless driving, drove without due care and attention, causing death by careless conduct, and failed to provide specimen for analysis. It was suspected that he had been consuming alcoholic beverages.
Was she a Belizean national?
She's a U.S. national.
The Ministry of Agriculture and its partners, including Baja and Oyursa, continue on high alert as the New World screwworm infestation continues to ravage through the region. At this time, Belize continues to be free of the pest. However, with increasing cases in countries including Guatemala and Honduras being reported, and even Mexico reporting one imported case, these entities have raised its efforts to keep the cattle industry free of this disease. Prime Minister John Briceño confirmed that additional efforts are being implemented in the event that the pest is to make its way into the country.
Well, almost every cabinet meeting we have, Ms. Mai is bringing up the issue of the screwworm from its inception in Panama, where by mistake they released these flies, the flies that can reproduce as opposed to the ones that don't, the sterile ones. And then that has been coming all the way up, its way up to Belize. Fortunately, and knock on wood, there's no wood I could knock but right now, but we have not seen any instance of the screwworm in Belize, but now we have a few in Guatemala, and now we even have a few also in Mexico. So it's important for us to be able to see how we could keep out this insect or this pest from Belize. So we've been tightening up with the borders. We've been working with Baja. We've had several meetings with the Cattle Association, with the actual cattle ranchers. We've met also at the border points, have meetings with the people that live in the border points, especially Halacte, which tends to be an easy border to move products in and out, to see how best we can keep it out. But we also have to look at the reality that eventually it could probably be here. So then what are we going to do with all the cattle that we have? We're working with the ministry to see if we can get a group of people to set up a USDA abattoir to be able to slaughter the cattle in Belize, and hopefully at least start off by sending them in quarters into Mexico, and then they can continue the process. We're trying to do as best as we can. It's a bad hand, but we have to do something about it.
Agriculture Minister Honorable Jose Mai is currently in Palenque, Mexico, for a meeting of the Comité Internacional y Regional de Sanidad Agropecuaria, CIRSA, the parent body of OIRSA, the Organismo Internacional Regional de Salud Agropecuaria. While in Chiapas, Minister Mai has had meetings with the new Mexican Secretario de Agricultura, Dr. Jorge Verduque Sarquistan. Discussions focus on issues relating to the New World screwworm and Belize's cattle export status to Mexico. Minister Mai is joined in Chiapas by Belize's Ambassador of Investment, Jaime Briceño. In a festive announcement, the Briceño administration has unveiled plans to promote holiday shopping in Belize by declaring 2 weekends in December as GST exempt. The government shared the uplifting news through a press release sent out over the weekend, highlighting its commitment to support citizens amid ongoing economic challenges. Shoppers can rejoice as the general sales tax (GST) will be waived on local retail sales for all standard rated goods on December 14th, 15th, 21st, and 22nd, 2024. Furthermore, in the spirit of the Christmas season, popular holiday staples such as picnic shoulder hams, smoked ham legs, and imported turkeys will also enjoy a zero tax rate throughout the entire month of December. Michelle Longsworth, Director General at the Belize Tax Service, explained that this initiative stems from a desire to ease the financial burdens many Belizeans are facing due to global inflation.
Undertaken over the past few years with technology. The Belize Tax Service has leveraged digital transformation, and so not only to simplify our processes and our services, but now by using data analytics, we are now able to drive impactful policy decisions that directly benefit taxpayers and businesses alike. So these GST tax-free days are tangible examples of how BTS can assist to boost the economy, and also how we can build trust, because that is important, trust between the government and its citizens for a fair tax base, as you put it like that, right? So the tax-free days are trends that we have been looking at since we started to receive our information digitally. Taxpayers have been submitted their information online, payment online, returns online. We have also been linked to a Sekuda World looking at importation of data, etc. So it's looking at the trend and the economic impact it has that we were able to provide sufficient data to government to show that the Belize Tax Service will meet its revenue target, and at the same time, government can provide some initiative or some incentive to taxpayers.
Though does not extend to items ordered or purchased on credit, layaway, or hire purchase, nor does it apply to wholesale or consignment purchases. Additionally, GST will still be applicable for importers, and the government encouraged shoppers to carefully check their receipts to ensure eligible grocery products are free of GST charges. When asked about the potential revenue loss for the government due to these tax-free days, Longsworth reassured that it should not be perceived as a loss, but rather as a strategic initiative to stimulate the economy.
The tax-free on ham, local ham for December?
So I don't think we should look at it like a loss, Marisol. I think we look at it more as giving persons more money to spend. On a regular weekend, we at the Belize Tax Service collect, let's say, 2 to 2.5 million in GST. Now, for these tax-free days, which is the 14th and 15th, the 21st and the 22nd, we estimate, or we're projecting, I think it's 2.5. So you're looking at $5 million over these 2 weekends for people to make use of. But at the same time, we are putting back 12.5% in people's pocket. So we know this is a high season for spending. So people will have more money to spend at the end of the day. So it's kind of a like balancing off, because the more people spend, the more we have the ability to collect back. Whilst we'll not be collecting it GST, we do look at the other side as business tax. So there will be an offsetting per se. So it's not a loss. It's incentivizing our people to spend their money at home and invest in our economy.
Okay, but there will be nuance.
As for businesses, Longsword confirmed that reporting sales made during the GST-free periods will be straightforward, ensuring compliance with tax regulations.
GST for those days. How will that work?
So it's a simple process, and I can tell you that we have tested this with a large taxpayer and a small taxpayer. Why? Because we know that taxpayers already have this program in their POS systems, what is charged as standard rated, what is zero rated, what is exempt. And it would have been too cumbersome to ask them to reprogram their machines. So all we're saying to taxpayers is that all you need to do is to go through, add up all your sales just like regular, but at the end of that sale, you give your 12.5% as a discount. So you minus it out, you subtract it if you're using a cash register. If you're using a POS system, you just apply it as a discount. And it's not difficult because let's use like a store like James Brody's, who on weekends offers a discount. What they will do, they will just add on the 12.5% as an additional discount separated from the normal 10% discount that they give. So taxpayers that we've spoken to and explained this to can see that it's simple. And what is important here is that taxpayers still have to report or still have to file come January. Why? Because taxpayers have already purchased these goods. They've already paid their input tax. We will be giving them back their input tax, because remember, GST is an offsetting. So normally the input tax they pay, they offset it against what they collect for government. So now they will still file on their GST return at line 110. They will still file and they will still claim back their input tax.
Lastly, the incentive being implemented by the government of Belize will have no impact on local producers, says Michelle Longsworth.
Well, now I'm going for more imported product than the local one.
I don't think there's room, because remember, there's also that cap on the amount being imported anyway. And so at the end of the day, for instance, myself, I like my quality poultry turkey, and nobody can tell me, I don't care if it's imported or not, I still think they're the best. And you have many people that think like that. So it's based on preference. And I believe that that market will not be impacted as it pertains to sales.
Because in terms of only 4 days for zero rate tariff, where the tax will not apply, the 12.5, that's going to apply to those products, like the turkey and ham that's locally produced, only for those days?
Remember, those are not, you don't pay taxes on that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying there's no impact there. Okay.
And then when it comes, I'm not even sure if this is a question for you, but general consumer protection and the markup that businesses place on their products. Like, I don't know that we have any cap. Like, people can put whatever markup they want on their products. So I'm not even sure if that's a question for you and if it's one that you're willing to answer.
No, I mean, because that would come from the other side where that is monitored. And I think that in collaboration with them, it has to be where that is properly monitored. I can tell you there's ongoing collaboration between us, specifically due to inflation, that when they get reports, they forward those reports to us from a consumer that says GST is being charged on something that it shouldn't. So there's collaboration between the entities. And I think that during this time, we have to ensure that that collaboration continues so that.
So, as Belizeans prepare for their holiday festivities, the government encourages everyone to take advantage of this unique opportunity, ensuring a Christmas to remember without the additional financial strain of GST. Christmas is a few weeks away, but here in Orange Walk, Santa Claus has already been making his rounds, visiting the children of Orange Walk Central and their families. This past weekend, Santa was busy as the Honorable John Bresenio and the Orange Walk Central Executive Committee hosted their annual Christmas party for the children of Orange Walk Central. Norma Ruiz reports.
The weekend of festivities kicked off in San Esteban village on Saturday afternoon, where jolly old Saint Nick arrived bearing enough treats and surprises to put smiles on the faces of the very enthusiastic children and their families. Later on that same day, the Prime Minister and his team, along with Santa and his elves, made it to San Lorenzo Park, again bringing loads of prizes and surprises for everyone in attendance. As is customary, Philip Alvarez Park was the last stop in the weekend's Christmas gift and joy sharing on Sunday night. It was by far the most attended Christmas party, but still no match for Santa, who was clearly a popular guest with the children who were eager to receive their treats. Among all the celebration, we caught up with the Honorable Briceño, who says that after 30 years of spending Christmas with the children in his constituency, it has become one of his most favorite traditions.
Well, I think it's a tradition that pretty much we started about 30 years ago. I think it was 1994 that we had the first Christmas party for the children in Orange Walk town. And since then, every year we do that. And this is one of the activities that really brings great joy to me. Mingling with the kids, and see how excited they are, seeing Santa Claus, playing games, winning prizes, and then of course their goodies bag. And also, because of the years, now you're seeing younger mothers and fathers who come, who were at one time ago they were participating in this, and now they're bringing their children. So it's heartwarming, and it's something that I look forward to every single year. Yes, sometimes the job can be stressful, but it is one part of the job that I really enjoy, providing some happiness to our kids, especially for Christmas.
As usual, it was not only the kids who were treated to gifts by Santa and the Honorable Briceño, as the parents also received amazing gifts, including flat-screen televisions, stoves, and refrigerators at all 3 locations.
Well, we try to find ways how we could get the parents involved, not as much as the children, but we do. Earlier, I see some of them were dancing, and we have some big prizes for them, like we just did a big TV, smart TV that we just raffled out, and a stove. And ironically, a man won the stove, and a lady won the TV. And I know that the mothers, went for Mother's Day, I was kind of arguing and saying, hey, why do we have to get the stove? We want to get a TV. Here we are for Christmas. A lady won the TV and a man won the stove. So it's good. I mean, poetic justice, what can we say?
And even after 30 plus years, and now as the Prime Minister of our country, PM Briceño says being with the people of Orange Walk Central is the best part of his job. Reporting for CTV3 News, Norma Ruiz.
And here is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Are you ready to light up the holiday season? Join us for Centaur's annual Christmas parade on December 14th. It's the perfect way to celebrate with your community and create lasting memories. Whether you're participating with a float, marching with a group, or simply coming to spectate, there's a place for everyone to enjoy the magic of the holidays. Call 670-9177 to register free of cost. Happy holidays from Centaur Communications Corporation Limited.
Earlier this year, the Ministry of Labor announced changes to the trade license regime under the Trade Licensing Act, which would allow for standardization of the system. Since then, however, the government has decided to postpone those changes, which would have come into effect in January of 2025. Although the changes are expected to better the system, Prime Minister John Brisenia says that the decision was made to postpone its implementation to the end of 2025 to allow for a proper rollout with more education for those affected.
Well, it was a number of things because we had approved the concept, the paper when Minister Oscar Kenya brought it to cabinet. But consultations have been long, tedious, and I'm trying to get it going. But it seems that there's still a lot of uncertainty. Some people believe that, especially in the villages, all of us are going to charge me, and we have a small business. And so we felt, honestly, that we don't want it to be caught up in the whole politics of 2025. As we know, 2025 is going to be an election. And so to avoid any instance of the political process getting involved and, the opposition saying, oh, you are taxing more people and we have to explain, oh, there's not, that back and forth. We said, let's wait, let's finish the process properly. Let's properly educate our citizens as to what this is going to be all about. The businesses, the bars, and the big, in the villages, they have some big stores which they should be paying something and should be able to go to the village council. So there was a positive of it, but I'm told that the downside to it is that probably some of the councils might end up collecting less money. But we don't know. I've not seen the numbers. I've just been told that. So we've agreed that let's hold on. And the time is upon us, so January 1st. I don't think we're properly prepared everybody to institute it, so we have asked that we delay it and then we introduce it or to start with it, put it into law, I think the 1st of October, so next year, so we have enough time to be able to go into the new year.
A significant effort to promote health and road safety within the community, the Corozal Community Hospital held its final health fair of 2024 at the San Joaquin RC School today. The event provided essential services and valuable information to students and residents, marking a successful conclusion to the year's health outreach initiatives. Community members had the opportunity to engage with a variety of organizations dedicated to health and safety, including the Department of Youth Services, the National Drug Abuse Control Council, Vector Control, and the National Health Insurance NHI program, among others. Enthusiastic participation from these departments highlighted the commitment to fostering a healthier community.
And we know the year is winding down, but we cannot leave this year without creating more awareness. And this morning, today, in fact, we are creating awareness on the road safety. We know that's a major concern right now in the country. So we are doing a lot of health education as we speak here on the, under the theme Arrive Safely, Arrive Alive.
What are some of the other booths that are standing behind us?
Yes, at the back of me, we're doing free screening for the residents of San Joaquin. No, we're also inviting parents of students to come here at the RC school grounds, and we're doing pressure checks, glucose checks. We're doing HIV testing, malaria testing as well for the adults, and by and large, we're doing education for the students. Here, mostly hygiene education, diabetes education, nutrition, right? Even malaria and dengue education. So we're focusing on children, and we're also focusing on parents of the students.
You say that your team is Reach Home Alive. So what is the message that is being sent towards those attending the health fair?
Yes, under the theme, I repeat again, the theme is Arrive Safely, Arrive Alive. You know, it's a road safety issue message here, and we know a lot of motorists are over the weekend and in this time of Christmas. Now we're asking motorists to be more careful when driving, respect the speed limit, okay, drive with care and attention. So that is what we are asking, and specifically motorcycles, you know, please wear your helmet. please stay at the speed limit.
Do you think that the message will be sent out?
Well, actually, we have gathered with many organizations. You know, not only the police, not only the traffic department is highlighting concerns on road safety, but even Ministry of Health and Wellness is also part of the theme. And we have the National Drug Abuse Control Council, NDAC, which is also part of the ministry. You know, we are also forming part of this team to bring awareness. So it's not only left for the police and the traffic department. I think this is an issue for all of us.
The Curacao Community Hospital aims to continue its outreach efforts in the new year, reinforcing the importance of health education and community support. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Tuesday, December 9th here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read the text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.